John Rees is with us, folks, here. He's that man from, what was that party called? New Zealand First. And they had a big weekend this weekend, John. What happened?
Well, yes, Max, you are right. It was a massive weekend. It was the New Zealand First annual convention in Hamilton this year. It was fantastic.
Was it? How many people attended?
Well, it was one of the biggest ones we've had in probably 7 or 8 years. We had about maybe 250, 300 people from all around New Zealand came on board.
Wow, that is impressive.
But one of the most interesting things was, as I might just say, nearly probably a third of the people there were first-timers who had never been to an AGM before, but are really impressed with what New Zealand First has done in the last 12 months and have decided to get on board and help us.
And what age group were they? Were they predominantly younger people, like older?
Yeah. You know, this was really strange. Obviously, there's a bit of it's a misnomer, but a lot of people are grey-haired or have some, or maybe losing hair.
Well,
like
I've been to
myself.
a few political meetings, and they all bring in the grey-headed
This
people.
time, and a few of us remarked, a lot of people, I'd say, are in your 30s and 40s. It's really changed. It's these new people are coming in who have realised that New Zealand First delivers for everyone. And so they've come on board to help us to fight for the 2026 election.
Did you feel that in the energy in the audience?
Yeah, you definitely do. It was really upbeat. I think it's just people are generally pleased with what New Zealand First has done and been helped change the course of government with the new coalition government. So overall, it was a very positive event.
So, I mean, I know the American style is to have lots of bells or whistles and things like that to happen. So is that what was happening within your event?
No, New Zealand First isn't a typical bells and whistles type thing, not like, say, your Labours or your national parties or even ACTs, for example. It's a really down-to-earth event, always is, has quality speakers. We had Jacinta Price, the senator from Australia, come along and speak. She's obviously opposed to having racial separatism. She helped stop The Voice in Australia, so she came and spoke. We even had a union who's not aligned to any political party, one of the few in New Zealand, I must add, came and spoke. And he was a guy called Dennis Marga from First Union. And he came to address us, and he said the great thing about his union is he's not politically aligned. They can talk to all political parties who are keen or ready to listen.
That could make a lot of sense because Matt McCartan was the founder of that particular union. And, of course, Matt was the one who built the alliance. He's very much on the left. But he's on the outer of that union for some reason. So you're probably right with that.
Well, you're right. See, I think of other unions I've dealt with, how they've all signed up to generally the Labour Party, right? So their problem is every time the Labour Party is not in government, no one in government will really be prepared to talk to them because they've signed up. They're mainly Labour first and their members second.
Well, that's the only place I think Labour Party get their funding from is from unions. So it's very good that you guys have got that particular union involved. In fact, it's incredible because obviously the policies aren't aligned too much because, you know, you guys are sort of centre-right, if anything. And
No, we're very centre. New Zealand First is centre. Other parties can be right. We're well balanced. It's great to be the only party in New Zealand that is well balanced, Max.
Well, folks, I wonder if that's an opinion or that's fact. I don't know.
Oh, fact. I only talk facts. You've known me for a long time.
And opinions, I believe.
In your opinion.
All right. So moving right along, with some of the keynote speakers they were really capturing, was it a full weekend, like 2 or 3 days? Or
Yeah, it was
just
2
one day?
weeks, Friday, Saturday, and it was Saturday and Sunday, and we ended up with Winston's large, massive public meeting on Sunday, which I must say, we're not even in election year, and he pulled in 900 people to come and see him in Hamilton. And that was a massive. It was one of the biggest public meetings I think I've seen in at least 7 years, since about 2017.
Is that venue big enough for it? What venue were you at?
People were standing. We ran out of chairs. People were just everywhere, including a few pro-Palestinian protesters who managed to infiltrate, but we managed to usher them out for their own sanity out the door to save them. But
You know, 3 days is rather exhausting. I'm going to go to a conference on Friday, and I think it's only a day and maybe 2. But certainly 3 days I find hard work. How did you find yours?
Well, I must admit, by the end of it, yes, you are pretty tired because you're having a lot of in-depth discussions with people about a whole range of topics the entire time. So you do, at the end of it, it's good to have a bit of a rest. But we did have a good party on the Saturday night. New Zealand First always has a really good party on the Saturday night.
Now, my experience of these meetings is that they say, come along, we'd like to hear your opinion about things. But in fact, it's further from that. It's all about the MPs. It's all about shoving stuff down your throat. And your opinions, well, it doesn't really matter.
Well, the interesting thing is, I spoke to a few of the political commentators and journalists who were there, and they made the remark, a number of them said, New Zealand First is one of the very few parties in New Zealand who invites the journalists into the remit sessions, the policy sessions. Like Greens, for example, shut the door. No one knows what the Greens do, and they don't even know what they do either.
Yeah.
But New Zealand First opens up to be transparent, to allow New Zealand public via the media see what is going on and how policies are created and debated.
So are you saying, yes, the membership do get a say in these things?
Completely. I mean, I made a proposal that was accepted outright, which is demanding that there's always 2 rail-enabled ferries for the Cook Strait. And I presented my case, and everyone voted in favour for it straight away. There were other contentious topics which were very heavily debated, but they got through in the end.
Well, folks, that was John Reeves, who's apolitical and doesn't have a political opinion or any bias to one particular party.
In Max's opinion.
In Max's opinion. All right, folks, thank you very much. And thanks for coming along, John. We'd like to hear the next update in terms of what's happening with the New Zealand First.
Okay, thank you very much.